stopped by the American Flyer Resource Library and did a little research on the 970 boxcar, Silver Meteor from Seaboard Rail Lines. And here's what my resources told me. This little guy here, his name is Smitty. And Smitty is a walking brakeman who, in theory, travels back and forth across these cars as they travel down and around and through your layouts. Now, in the case of both of these Smitties, they are having potential attitudes and maybe even strike because both of them refuse to do anything except stand there. And so that's why they are here with me today. And off camera, we had a little discussion, and I let them know that per their contract, they were required to do their walking back and forth. So we're going to see if we can't help them do that. Now, all goofiness aside, one thing I noticed that I thought I might mention is the resources talked about how the original Smitty has a blue outfit. His hands and face are painted a white Caucasian type color. Excuse me, and he has a red bandana. And so this guy looks to be an original Smitty. Now this guy, on the other hand, who can say? He's got a different kind of hat on. He's got a very pronounced forehead. His body build is different. You know, there's not a whole lot of similarities between this Smitty and this Smitty. So this Smitty's definitely some sort of a replacement. I don't know if this is what the replacement guys look like. Looks a little Frankenstein-like to me. Yikes. Anyhow, we'll back the camera up. No need to focus in on that. I don't like having nightmares. A couple other things that I noticed about these cars. They've got some sort of a applied sticker because this one's missing. Let's see if it's on this side. Nope, gone on that side. And present on this side. So, well, this guy's definitely the better car of the two. It's got the original Smitty. It's got both stickers on. It's a little bit cleaner, a lot less play wear. But the one thing that concerns me a little bit is we've got something going on here. There's some damage. Looks like something hot might have touched it. I don't know if that came from inside or if that came from outside. But either way, it's there. The other thing I noted is this has a speed lever here on the end, whereas this one does not. It's gone. So this guy's, I don't know if it'll work or not, but let's go ahead and take these apart and see what we can find and see if we can help Smitty get off his duff. I oftentimes learn a lot by taking things apart, and what I learned here is I didn't need to take it apart. Now, I didn't know that. But here, this handle here basically tightens or loosens up a nut on the side of the solenoid. And what someone had done is just actually turned it too loose. So when I gave it power, you know, I heard nothing. So I just started to tighten this up. And look at that. Away we go. So now I'm going to just set the shell back on here because I need the shell to help Smitty know to turn around so he, it doesn't just fall off. So we'll just set this on here. Whoops, I guess I should put the shoe, which those of you that have a Guilford station or the cattle yard will recognize this. Tried and true vibrating pad. I just think that's so cool. It's so clean. Now, Smitty thought he could get away with getting off the job for today, but I said, listen, dude, you can have a break, but now it's time to get back on your pole and dance. So let's see if Smitty does his thing. Okay, let's go ahead and tighten this up a little bit more. What's happening? Okay, so we've got, it's so hard to do this with one hand. Okay, can I do this or not? There we go. maybe. Come on. There we go. Okay, so this is getting hung up because someone, like I said, kind of melted the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cutting wheel on my high-speed rotary tool, and I'm going to very carefully cut that stopping place away and gently smooth out the sides. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I'm not going to show you what I'm doing on the camera. Sorry about that. But I will bring you back when I'm done, and hopefully it won't be destroyed. But I do definitely, well, maybe I don't need to smooth out the edges. I think I just need to, I'll just open it up to start with and then see how that works. All right, we're back, and now we're going to give Smitty another chance after I cleaned out his little treadway. The whole car is vibrating pretty good. Smitty doesn't want to stand up very well. Oh, his head's about ready to fall off, so that can't help. Good heavens. Smitty's going to lose his head over his job here. Come on. Well, not much to see here. Well, I guess I should have known better than to not take a careful look at this pad. I'm used to seeing the pads kind of sparse, like, you know, a cat with cancer that's missing its hair kind of thing. So when I saw how thick this was, I didn't think twice about it, but it looks like it's kind of worn off on this one side, and that's why Smitty keeps falling over. So he needs a new shoe, and I think somewhere I have new material. So now I got to find that, and assuming I can find it, I'll switch it out, and then we'll try it again. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of the education I just received. Like most of you, I struggle sometimes to remember where I put things, but I did find I have this little section of this velour cloth, and I was like, yeah, this will work maybe. So I was like, but there's grain patterns, like I don't know if you can see this on here or not, but it kind of has a rows that run this way, and so I was like, well, it seems like I would want the rows to go in the direction that my item is vibrating. So I cut this little piece out that would be just about the right size for the bottom of that shoe, and put it on here like this, upside down, and turn the power on. Okay, let's turn it around. Oh, no. So that didn't work. So next, I cut one out that went contrary to my, thinking that I'd follow the rows, and I went ahead and put that on here, and now I just glued it, and you can see it scoots along there. Whoa, can't hardly scoots along there pretty good. Word to the wise, if you happen to have some material or find material like this that's kind of a velour, actually reminds me of what you'd see on old railroad car seats, passenger car seats. You want to go kind of against the grain, if you will. So let's go ahead and put our lid back. Oops, I got to put this shoe back on here. Oh, and I use just some simple Gorilla Glue on the bottom of that shoe to stick the material on there. So now let's see what happens to our person, or to our stick. So something tells me it needs the weight of Smitty on here to help on the turning at the ends of the track. So let's try this again. Come on, Smitty, do your thing. Don't be shy, Smitty. Come on. America wants to see you do your thing. All right, go, man, go. Now turn around. Oh. He's thinking about it. Well, the good news is, with the exception of one of my rail lines, there's no mountains, so we wouldn't be too worried about the train suddenly not having brakes because Smitty's fallen asleep on the stick. Literally. I just have to help him turn around, and then he works. Kind of. There he goes. All right. Well, there you have it. A Smitty that sometimes wants to work. We're back here with our friend Willie. He's ready to see about some walking here. So again, just quick recap. Took everything apart because nothing was working. Found it was just the adjustment lever had been spun out too far. So the solenoid, everything seemed to be in very nice condition. Tightened it up. The pad off the bottom foot, if you will, of the sliding piece was worn out, so I replaced that. And now we've got one hiccup. For some reason, it kind of gets caught when it turns around on this one side. The other end, it seems to work really good, or pretty good. So the next thing I want to do is take things back apart and see if I can figure out what's going on. So here is the position of the foot, is what I call it. If you've ever read the Chronicles of Narnia, maybe that'll take you someplace. But this is where it seems to be getting caught. So I want to do a couple things. I want to look at the edges where I trim things, and maybe it's pretty rough. So I'm wondering if I just try to clean up that edge a little bit, if maybe that'll be enough to kind of help it slide. The other thing I thought about doing, oh, that's rough there too, is maybe I can just do a little cleaning in here, maybe put a little bit of my light lubricant in there, although that could cause issues down the road. So maybe just a cleaning would be a smart thing to do. So I'm going to start with that. Again, I'm going to do this off camera, but I'll bring it back once I'm done and we'll see if there's any improvements. After some experiments with Willie and trying to dial him in, you can see he does move. Maybe not as freely as he should, but he is moving. And it's a little interesting to watch because it actually helps to have rough track. It helps him turn around and go back the other way. He's fine when he turns around, but it's a little hard for him to get turned around sometimes. And so having some rough track that kind of shakes him up helps him to keep rolling. Anyhow, kind of a fun accessory, certainly entertaining to watch, although probably watching it through a camera is a little bit dizzying just because it's going kind of fast.